The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this business.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, June 11th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the Savage One, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Doing great this morning. Doing better than I did yesterday. Sorry for the best of yesterday. Got home a little later and I was telling Kristian I hit the couch and didn't set an alarm, and it was like the Thanos snap from the end of Infinity War. No! And then it was morning. It was like 9:02, and I texted it, and I'm like, hey, we can still do this. And unfortunately, the best of was already in motion. So sorry, fans, for yesterday, but we're live today, so it's all good.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the way it goes sometimes. And, I'm never going to hold it against you because, sleep is important. So, I got a nice little reprieve, got some stuff done yesterday morning. And, we're here with a brand new show. With that being said, Tony is going out of town this weekend. We will be running a planned best of on Monday. So that way
I'll be on the road coming back. I did present we goofed and said we were going to do a phone-on-phone version. So, Chris was going to do it like on his phone, and I was going to record it driving back from Nebraska, so representing Nebraska. After the show, I'll be heading down for my nephew Anders' first birthday. So I will be out there and driving back during my day.
I was going to go sit in my car in the driveway and do it.
We should. If you guys ever want to see a goofball show like that, let us know below. Call the Fenix Line. For the love of mankind, call the Fenix Line so we can finally see what's on those left messages.
Yeah.
The future episode.
Along those lines, make sure it's a clear message too. I can't tell you how many I've had to delete because I can't understand a word somebody's saying. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do it each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, obviously, a lot of people are taking advantage of, sort of the tail end of the COVID pandemic, still sitting there on unemployment and not really going back to work, even though places are hiring. What would you say is one of the biggest industries right now that's suffering?
With people not going back, it's affecting everyone. I can say, knowing the opening segment's always going to be something crazy. So I'm going to just be logical. And I'm going to say the retail industry is having a hard time with just finding quality. At this point, you're scraping. So where I work, we're just taking pretty much anybody, and they're not sticking. We literally hired 30 people. And out of the 30 people, after 1 week, we maybe got 10 to stick on. 20 dropped off, and that's at a company where people want to work. It's just, the thing is people are making more of sitting on their butt, just doing, collecting nothing. So it's all about the long game, folks. The long game. It's like, you might make a little less at first, but if you stick around, the benefits, that. So I'm going to say retail, but I'm sure that's not where we're going because that's too easy. It's too easy.
It is a little easy, but along those lines, our local Red Robin has closed down to in dining or in-store dining and restaurant dining because they don't have enough waiters. People just Exactly.
You
So
know,
they're
I'm glad you
already
said
forward.
that, because we had a nasty experience at Chili's in Glenwood Springs 2 weeks ago. Like, the waiter was such a jerk. I mean, I've never been treated like that. Like, he got my margarita wrong, and I said, "Sir, that's not what I ordered." And he said, "Well, it is what it is." And I said, "Nope." I go, "I didn't order that, and I don't want it." And he goes, "You got to be kidding me." I go, "I ain't kidding you, dude. I'm not. I don't want it." So then it created a shit storm at the table because I stood my ground and said, "I ain't drinking that. I don't want it. Go
You
away."
should leave him a couple pennies as a tip.
Yeah.
And when he asks
No,
about it,
well,
say,
my
"It is
sister,
what it
my
is."
sister didn't tip him, not even a penny. She's
Wow.
like, straight up, F this guy. But we talked to the manager, and she said, "You know, we don't have anybody." She goes, "I'm so sorry. I have brand new cooks, new wait staff. I can't keep anybody." So they're struggling too. So I totally get that. Sorry to hijack that.
Well, all that goes to say that businesses have been facing difficulties filling positions in the hospitality industry since COVID-19 restrictions have loosened, and strip clubs are no exception. At least one gentleman's club in New Orleans is offering signing bonuses to new and returning entertainers to combat what they call a national exotic dancer shortage. We look forward to reverting back to a 7-day per week operation, just as we were prior to COVID, said Ann Kessler, general manager of Larry Flynn's Hustler Club in New Orleans. In order to do so, we need to ensure that we have an ample number of entertainers to sustain our guests, which is why we are implementing a signing incentive to both local and out-of-state entertainers. Larry Flynn's Hustler Club on Bourbon Street is offering $1,000 incentives to any new or returning entertainer. Believe it or not, New Orleans has everything besides exotic dancers at this time, Kessler adds. I urge entertainers to contact me for their signing bonus as the city quickly gears towards full capacity. So yeah, all industries are being affected, including strip clubs.
I actually had a feeling you were going to say an adult establishment. That's why I didn't. That was going to be my guess, but I just was like, I had a feeling it was going there, so I played it safe.
Well, and here locally in Northern Nevada, I don't know if the brothels are back open, if they're having any issues, but kind of along those same lines.
Yeah. I don't know. Who did we have on our show a year ago from
Alice
the adult
Little.
club? Alice Little. I don't know if you still talk to her. Maybe ask her. Maybe we'll get her on sometime.
Yeah, it might be worth reaching
Probably
back.
not. But, that was a fun episode. Go back in the archives for that one.
Definitely. Well, folks, it is Friday. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
We're looking forward to the weekend, but not before we bring you guys good news, everyone.
Good news!
We've got a segment called Stereotypical Alcoholics, and of course we round out the day with This Day in History. Folks, do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Behold my precious. Ooh, yeah, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, yeah, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo!
Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We've got a thing we talk about a couple times each show. In fact, we even mentioned it in the opening segment. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the listeners and watchers, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you are a former stripper that's looking to head on down to New Orleans and get that $1,000 signing bonus. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together and put them out in a future show. Now it is Friday. I love the Phoenix sound. It is Friday, as we do on Fridays. You know, we like to turn the tables a little bit on all the bad news, the vitriol, the divisiveness that's out there with a segment I like to call
Good News, everyone.
So I'll go ahead and kick things off with this story. Love is wonderful the second time around, but it can be all the more special if you don't remember the first time. For Peter Marshall, who suffers from early onset Alzheimer's, forgetting his past has meant a bittersweet chance to fall in love with his wife, Lisa, and ask her to marry him all over again. Peter and Lisa have been married for 12 years. At 56, his illness has progressed rapidly, but no matter what turn his condition takes, Lisa remains steadfastly by his side because even if he can't remember her name, he knows that he loves her and that she loves him. He doesn't know that I'm his wife. I'm just his favorite person, Lisa told NBC News. I don't need to have a label. I don't need a name because our hearts are connected. Last winter, as the Connecticut couple sat on the couch watching a televised wedding, Peter had an inspiration. Not realizing they were already married, he proposed, and a surprised Lisa happily accepted. And so a date was set. Vendors who knew Lisa's event planner daughter donated their services to make the day perfect. Throughout the touching ceremony, Peter beamed at his bride, while sometimes through tears, Lisa smiled back as she made her vows. It was so perfect. I couldn't have dreamt for a better day. It was so magical, Lisa told NBC. I can't remember seeing him so happy for so long. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I got to do it twice. Though the ceremony took place only a few months ago, Peter has no recollection of the event, but what he's not forgotten is the woman who's never going to leave him, the woman he loves, who loves him back. I think that's supposed to say woman, not women. And when hearts are truly connected, sometimes remembering love can be more than enough. You know, I came across this as such a sweet and touching story. Jesse, who, we're supposed to be getting married within the next year ourselves, she deals with seniors, Alzheimer's, dementia, and, seeing that it's an illness that progresses quickly. A story like this is just so heartwarming, and that's what makes it my
Good News, everyone.
That is a great news story. Following after your great news story, here's one I came across just yesterday, actually. This one is about an 8-year-old boy who sold his Pokemon card collection to pay for his sick dog $700 treatment. Bryson Kleeman, I think I'm saying that it's either Kleeman or Kleiman. We'll call him Kleeman. If I'm wrong, they ain't gonna know. So Bryson Kleeman decided to sell his Pokemon card collection after learning his dog needed a pricey procedure to treat a lethal viral infection. He was willing to do whatever it takes to save his dog's life, even if it meant selling his most prized possession, his Pokemon card collection. Bryson Kleeman and his mother, Kimberly Woodruff, from Lebanon, Virginia, recently noticed that their 4-month-old Bruce wasn't feeling well and rushed him to the vet. And I'm not sure what kind of dog he is, but doesn't matter. Just a little nice little puppy. Yeah. He's a very playful puppy, and he wasn't really moving, Woodruff told ABC News. He wasn't coming out of his crate. He wasn't eating. After a trip to their local vet, Bruce was diagnosed with parvo, a contagious virus which can be lethal if left untreated. The procedure needed to treat the pup cost around $700, which the family couldn't afford. Kind of made me sad because usually my brother and sister play together and I don't have anybody to play with. So I usually play with him, Bryson told the outlet. Worried about losing his friend and playmate, the boy decided to take matters in his own hands when he sold his Pokemon cards, which he's collected over the past 4 years. He set up a table outside along with a large sign saying that read, Pokemon for sale. Showing cute little pictures of him with his thumbs up and his Pokemon card sign. Woodruff wasn't at home when Bryson started selling the Pokemon cards on May 4th, but told ABC that her husband sent a picture of Bryson outside next to his handmade sale sign. According to Washington Post, Bryson sold the cards for $5 to $10. However, once people got wind of his fundraiser through Facebook, they began to donate without expectation of Pokemon cards in return. Woodruff decided to create a GoFundMe to raise money for the procedure after getting an overwhelming amount of messages from the community. And on the cute little poster, it says, "Can you help my dog? I love my dog." And he drew a picture of his puppy on there, just his face. "Can you help my dog?" And he looks to be like a little black lab is what he looks like. He's adorable. Although he initially set out to raise $800, Bryson has earned more than $15,000 through his fundraiser. Yeah, he only needed $700, or $800, but he's got $15,000. On May 10th, Woodruff shared an update for those following their family story, revealing Bruce received his procedure and is on the mend. Bryson he's in a picture in his Pikachu outfit with double thumbs up. Bruce is now home with his family. He's doing great, still in recovery. We thank you all for the continued love and support. Any further donations will be used to help other families and the animals. Bryson and I just want to thank everybody for all that you have done for us. She added a few days later. He has received a lot of love and support from all over the U.S. and well enough to help other families reward himself as well. So just awesome love. And just the little cute love of this young man and his little puppy. I mean, awesome. And hopefully Bruce can be on the mend and heal, because parvo is definitely a scary thing in pups. It's not good. Yeah.
And I always love hearing when, something like this happens where, they're only trying to raise $800, but they end up getting $15,000, that they take the additional proceeds to help other people out as opposed to just pocketing it and saying, "Hey, thanks everybody."
Yep. Well, thanks for Bruce. Oh, by the way, we're going to buy a ton of Pokemon cards for Bryce, and we'll make sure we get that elusive Charizard card, Right.
And a brand new car for Bruce as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Bruce is good. We put money in Bruce's, Bruce gets a fluffy jacket, and we opened up an Instagram for Bruce. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Great story, man. Love the pictures. If you guys, I'll put it up on our Facebook page, and you guys can check it out. Very cute. The pictures they're just as cute as the story. So
very cool. I'd certainly say that qualifies as
good news, everyone.
And with the remaining 3 minutes, I've got one more short story. So in early April, Girl Scouts were experiencing a 50% shortfall in cookie sales, with reduced foot traffic and the pandemic limiting their ability to sell their iconic cookies in person and eating into their annual activity budgets. Google's delivery service Wing began talking to a local Girl Scout troop in Christiansburg, Virginia, where they run America's first and only residential drone delivery service. Now, enthusiasm and sales are soaring, with the local Scouts selling cookies in an entirely new way, via drone. Residents in Christiansburg can now get Samoas, Thin Mints, peanut butter patties, and more favorites flown through the sky and dropped directly at their front door. And through it all, Wing has also been working with local Scouts, showing them the technology of how drones work and hopefully inspiring the girls to pursue STEM careers. In return, they're teaching us a lot about how to sell cookies, one spokesperson told GNN. During 2020, Wing was able to support a number of local Christiansburg businesses with their contactless delivery capabilities. For example, the owner of Mockingbird Cafe Bakery reported that drone delivery accounted for about 25% of sales during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic. GNN reported last June on a local library that began using Wing to deliver books to kids stuck at home. Obviously brilliant. Shoppers with a sweet tooth can order through the Wing app in Christiansburg until the end of May. Well, apparently this is an older story, but the company has committed. The company has committed to help the girls sell 3,000 boxes regardless. So far, the most popular cookie order is, well, not surprising, Thin Mints. A recent Virginia Tech survey of consumers in the nearby Southern Virginia town found 87% of residents like the idea of drone delivery following the first year of service in the community. Drones can deliver goods to a consumer in minutes without adding to traffic congestion, and energy-wise, they are about 10 times as efficient as electric vehicles and more than 50 times more efficient than gasoline-powered vehicles. It makes a lot more sense to deliver a 1-pound box of cookies with a 10-pound drone than it does with a 3,000-pound car, says Wing. If it means getting our Thin Mints dropped into our front yard, it's a badge that's worth a Girl Scout sash. So, it's nice when you see tech companies helping out, something as foundational as, Girl Scouts and the cookies. We didn't get our supply of cookies this year because nobody came around and we didn't see them at the stores.
I was going to say, didn't see them this year. I was just actually, as you were reading that, I go, it's weird. I didn't see any Girl Scout cookies for sale this year. Last year, man, I was buying from my niece, I was buying from coworkers, and I don't even eat cookies. They just sat there, just kind of when people came over, hey, you want a Thin Mint? So
there you go. Yeah, I eat them. I enjoy the cookies, but needless to say, that certainly is
good news, everyone.
All right, folks. Well, that does it for our good news, everyone. When we come back, we are headed into a segment called Stereotypical Alcoholics. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take 1.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they could be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show, and we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you do want to catch us from the comfort of your own home, on your couch or on the go, just download the ngbn.tv application from your smart TV or your smartphone, and you can then go to the Fenix Media channel there, find this show and other great Fenix Media shows as well. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK 81, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81 as well. Well, with this segment, I wanted to take a look at, alcoholics and, what bartenders think is the stereotypical type of person based on the drink that they order. Now, Tony, do you have a go-to drink when you're out at the bar?
Yeah, I like to go with either a sour or a Moscow Mule. Those are typically, if I'm going to a bar, it's that. If it's a restaurant, it's a margarita. But if it's a bar, it's typically a Moscow or a sour beer if they have a good one.
All right. Yeah. Well, as we go through, maybe we'll see if one of those pops up and if you fit that stereotype.
All right, sounds good. We shall see.
For me, I'm a rum and Coke guy. I love a good rum and Coke. If I'm out at a restaurant and drinking with food, usually it's either a glass of red wine or like a Hefeweizen beer, a wheat beer. But
yeah, Hefeweizen's good. Yeah, it's a good beer.
Yeah. But when it comes to hard alcohols, rum and Coke for me. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the stereotypical alcoholics here with what bartenders say is the fitting personality based on what they drink.
Hold on to your butts.
So this from Kaz Colhane says that the stereotypical gin and tonic drinker will talk your ear off whether you like it or not. And after 4 drinks, will take someone inappropriate home. Have you ever known a gin and tonic drinker, Tone? And do you think that?
Yeah, my buddy Jeff loved gin and tonics, but I mean, he's loyal to his wife. He never took anybody home. He was always just a calm. Like, he wasn't a silly drunk. He was always a happy, laughy guy in general. But yeah, as far as being a weird drunk and anything, definitely not. So,
well, you had somebody else.
He's a big gin and tonic guy. So
you had another bartender who chimed in and said, on average, they are pleasant, have good taste, but they do tend to cry when they have had too many. Was he a crier at all?
No way, man. That dude never cried. Never.
Well, let's move on with stereotypical alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
All right. Here's what bartender Destiny K4 said about vodka Red Bull drinkers. Says it means I'll have to keep an eye on you throughout the night because you're about to act drunk and high. I could see that. Alcohol's typically a downer. Obviously, Red Bull is an upper. And most people I know that drink that are more on the crazy side.
Yeah, I've had it before. I've never gotten drunk off of it, but I could see the spastastic nature of it all, like really jittery and all over the place. I think the thought process is, hey, I'm kind of tired, but I could get my drink on while having my energy drink too, It's an interesting combo, actually. It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Red Bull. I just don't like the taste, so I'm going to pass on that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving on. Stereotypical alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
This one, I'd say, is perfect. Reminds me back of my college days from bartender NPK 369. Says about people with fireball shots. Well, fireball shots equal underage, first-time drinker who can't wait to have an epic hangover story. Absolutely true. I don't
100% true.
Grown-ass adult who drinks fireball.
No. I see people that do shots, but it's usually the younger ones that have them. Last time I did fireball shots and all that stuff was probably that day I got roofied in Lincoln when we went to that Volbeat show. And then that guy had that backpack and we drank I think I drank out of it, and then I don't really remember much of the show.
Disappeared. Yep.
Yeah, I like to disappear. Yeah, after a few of this. So I tend not to do any of that crazy stuff. Try to avoid it.
Probably for the best. Well, let's keep moving on. Stereotypical alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
All right. This one from bartender KBlue02, talking about people who drink Stella Artois, obviously a very famous beer. Says the guys who would try to push to the front of the queue and end their night out with a fight were always the guys who ordered a pint of Stella. Based on the verbiage that they use, I assume that they're somewhere in Europe or the UK. I've always known Stella drinkers as the people who want something that's light, a little more refined, as opposed to like a Bud Light or a Coors Light.
Right. Well, and it's crazy. Like, I think the people that really drink beer, especially if you've gone sophisticated, it would take a lot more to get drunk. So they'd have to be drinking an awful lot or be mixing with something to get to that point.
Right.
I don't just see most people get smashed off beer anymore. You know what I mean? They drink it and it's the people that drink, they have to drink like a 12-pack and stuff to even get that buzz because they drink it so often. So.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is for me. That's why, if I ever want a good night out, I don't drink beer to do that because I've got that German blood and it takes forever for me to get drunk on beer. And the trade-off is that I'm going to the bathroom every 5 minutes because my bladder's full of liquid. So
you just do it.
All right, let's keep moving on. Stereotypical alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
This one's for you, Tone, from bartender Mary Robin W.
Mary!
The Moscow Mule drinker. There's a 75% chance. Let me try that again. There's a 70, and I haven't even been drinking. There's a 75% chance you're about to bitch about it not being in a copper mug, and if it is in one, you will likely steal it. Do you have any sticky finger copper mug, Stone?
No, I've never stolen a copper mug. It's just better in a copper mug. It keeps the cold there. It feels like a different drink. It feels good. Now it tastes similar in a glass, but I don't know if it's a mental thing, like where it tastes better. It's so weird. But I do agree with it. If it's in a cup, it is a little annoying to me because it's just like,
I kind of attribute that to that mental thought that like Coca-Cola is better in a glass bottle than a can.
Exactly.
It's exactly the same, but something about it.
It's just the thing. Well, and that copper mug does keep it chilled a lot longer, and it just has that feel. Yeah. So I prefer it in the mug. Have I ever stolen the mug? No, but I do agree that I could see a Moscow Mule drinker bitching about it in a glass because I don't prefer it in the glass. I prefer the copper mug.
Fair enough. All right, let's keep moving on. Stereotypical alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
All right, this from bartender Kira W48 for people who drink a hurricane or sex on the beach. The 20-year-old who slips by because all her friends are 21 and no one looked closely at the ID, or a boomer who rarely drinks, but they're on vacation. Tony. Tony on vacation is known to get the foofy drinks with the little umbrellas.
Love them. Love the foofy drinks. I'm afraid to admit it, man.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's keep rolling on. Stereotypical Alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
Another one from bartender Kira W48, talking about French 75, which is a sparkling wine, says, this is for people who are all out of fucks, but you're making it a fashion. I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just have it.
Yeah, add a little orange juice, make it a mimosa, and you can be a morning all out of fucks type person.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't care. It's what I have. Don't give a F, you know?
All right, rolling on Stereotypical Alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
Bartender CCKJ00N, talking about people who order fruity beers. Says fruity beers equal girls who want to impress their boyfriends but don't actually like beer. Tony, does that qualify as ciders?
Yeah, that would be ciders. Yeah, I like sours, man. I don't like the seltzers. I'm not a big seltzer guy.
No.
That seems to be the popular choice with girls. I can't speak for what girls drink. I mean, I dated a girl that was into IPAs, and then I would drink like the sour beer next to her or the fruity beer. So
that's all right.
I used to get this one at this really cool bar in Westminster called Cocopelli. And the bartender guy, he was awesome. He would make this thing called a Fruit Loops, which was a sour and it's like a sour wheat beer, but gosh dang, was it good, man. I mean, I looked girly as hell drinking it. It was like this pink frothy beer. Yeah, it was good though, man. But yeah, I don't know why I'm drawn to the chicky drinks, man. I like them. They're good. But, you know, I kind of believe I like to drink what tastes good. I'm not like one to just go drink to go get drunk. Like if that's the case, then I'm going straight for the hard alcohol. Like and plus I don't drink if it's so rare when I do have a drink that it really doesn't take much to get me to Crazy Town. Right. The Amazing Anthony. It's my alter ego. Eagle. Yeah, Amazing Ego. Alternate ego, the Amazing Anthony. Like that son of a bitch does crazy things that I wouldn't normally do. And then I have stories that haunt me forever. And it's been that way since high school. There was the infamous camping trip up in the mountain where I made out with that girl. And I was like, I never in a million years would have made out with that girl.
Well, not only that, but the Amazing Anthony can also make himself disappear.
I can disappear. I talk to bushes. A lot. There might be a segment one time like things that Anthony has done when he's drunk.
There you go.
I have a lot of horror stories, which is probably what keeps me in check of not being an alcoholic because I don't like the stories. They're kind of cringeworthy to me. So it kind of keeps me grounded. Like, not saying I don't like to have the occasional girly drink to keep me centered.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then finally here in Stereotypical Alcoholics.
Hold on to your butts.
You have Kira is back talking about people who order a White Russian. Says either you don't drink too much or you have a great taste in movies. Talking about the Big Lebowski there. Well, folks, that does it for this segment. When we come back, we're heading into the final segment of the show. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, folks, we did it. We made it to not only the final segment of the show, but the final segment of the week on this episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Fine. I'll go build my own lunar lander with blackjack and hookers. In fact, forget the lunar lander and the blackjack. Screw the whole thing.
Love it. Bender Bending Rodriguez.
Now that is irony.
While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Like us, subscribe to us, share us, and follow us. And call the Fenix Line. We want to hear what's on. We want to hear what's on that damn thing, all right?
What more can we ask for?
We talk about it all the time. I want to hear what's on it, you know? I just want to
Let's go already!
Well, folks, as we like to do at this portion of the show, drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and kick things off. This day in 1742, Benjamin Franklin invents his Franklin stove. Go figure, he named it after himself.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to call this baking device the Franklin stove. Ooh, I like it.
I wonder how that differs from any other normal stove.
Well, it's the stove made by Franklin, of course.
Moving on, this day in 1776, Continental Congress creates a committee to draft a Declaration of Independence with Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert R. Livingston as members. And of course, that is the document that has John Hancock's name huge.
It is big. Yeah, he went big time on that. Way to go, John Hancock. He did. He went huge on that thing. I'm surprised they didn't call it the Franklin of Declaration of Independence.
There you go.
And since he made a stove.
He likes to name things after himself. So
he does.
Moving on, this day in 1898, the first U.S. Marines, 600 of them, land at Guantanamo, Cuba during the Spanish-American War. Wonder if that's when Harold and Kumar escaped, but who knows?
You don't know. I like how Teddy's just posing in the middle like, sup. This is ironically enough, that's with his Rough Riders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving on, this day in 1927, Charles Lindbergh is awarded the first Distinguished Flying Cross. Of course, we all know he's a famed pilot, and I think that point he was awarded that because of World War I. I don't know if he was a fighter pilot or just an aviation pioneer during that time.
Yeah, I don't know. What an awesome aviator, though, man. He did a lot of things.
He did. Yeah, it's a shame, though, that his child was kidnapped and later murdered and all of that, but it's all a part of the history. Moving on, this day in 1928, Alfred Hitchcock's film Case of Jonathan Drew, or The Lodger, is released. Again, I want to know more information. Why is it called something different? And based that it was, 1928, most of his famous work wasn't until the 1950s. How does this differ from like Psycho and those sorts of things?
Yeah, his films, man, always before they start, they had that and it had like that little artwork of his face, and he'd walk up and always turn to the camera. So
that's right.
Weird way to start like things, but he did it all the time.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the inspiration for like the James Bond opening, with the gun looking down the barrel and he walks out and, turns and shoots.
Yeah, it was a unique way to welcome the audience into his movies, though. But it's totally weird. And I don't know. I just saw that picture and that music and that whole thing just came back to me.
All right.
I had thought about that a while. It's kind of like during our beer segment when you talked about a Heffenweisen. I went back to the time we went to that German place in Vegas. It was you, me, my sister, and my ex. And I totally transported back to that time for a minute. I was like, whoa, that was weird.
Well, that's what we do on this show is,
it's a time traveling edition. Woo.
Exactly. Speaking of time traveling, this day in 1962, U.S. President John F. Kennedy accepts an honorary degree from Yale. How do you get an honorary degree?
Yeah. Hey, John, you're a good-looking dude. You're the president of the United States. I know you didn't go to Yale. I know you went to Harvard. Jeez, I don't know if you really went to Harvard, but here's an honorary degree. I mean, you could just say you went to Yale. It's from us to you. It's kind of like the honorary Oscars, right? They're like, you've never won an Oscar. Here's an honorary one.
Right. But you're famous and we want news, so.
Yeah. Jeez. Way to go, Yale.
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1963, Buddhist monk Thich Quang Duc immolates himself at a Saigon intersection, creating one of the Vietnam War's most iconic images. And obviously, it was what Rage Against the Machine used for the cover of their first album.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the Rage Against the Machine album. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Thich Quang Duc, I'm gonna burn myself today. Thich Quang Duc, let's get toasty.
Moving on, this day in 1966, Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones peaks at number 1 in the U.S. Great song.
Great song. And, what's funny is I thought that you and Jimmy wrote that song.
We did not.
Yeah, remember when you covered it with what was the band called? Dark Intent.
Dark Intent, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking, for whatever reason, I was not familiar back in the day with the Rolling Stones. Never heard the song. It's a fantastic song. But when I heard you guys play it, I was like, shit, this is effing good, man. I like this song. I'm like, this could be like their thing. Didn't realize it was a cover. I was a stupid kid. So, but I really did think that was one of your guys' originals. Fantastic song, though.
Well, let's keep rolling on. This day in 1979, Chuck Berry pleads guilty to income tax evasion, sentenced to 4 months. Didn't Wesley Snipes, get far more than 4 months for the same thing?
Yeah, he got a long time for it. Yeah. Hey, what was his cousin that discovered rock and roll and Back to the Future? Was it Marvin?
Marvin Berry. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Hey, Chuck, listen to this. Yeah.
Great movie. Let's keep rolling on. Oops, that's not the soundbite I want. Here it is. This day in 1982, Larry Holmes TKO's Jerry Cooney in 13 for the heavyweight boxing title.
Down goes Cooney. Stay down, and new champion, Larry Holmes.
Also on this day in 1982, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Henry Thomas and Drew Barrymore, is released. And that's back when the police still had guns in their hands and not walkie-talkies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is walkie-talkies now, huh? I still like E.T. From Cheech and Chong. Eddie Testicle. I'm E.T., Eddie Testicle.
Speaking of Steven Spielberg, this day in 1993, Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum, opens and sets a box office weekend record at $502 million. Still a fantastic movie.
Fantastic. It does. And this whole show, I've had that dumb theme song in my head the entire show.
Have you really?
Yeah, I really have. Yeah. Dee, 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 dee. You're welcome. It's in yours now. The reason why is because the poster dropped yesterday for Jurassic Park World Dominion, and I happened to just see the picture before the show, and I was like, oh. And then instantly the theme song plays when I saw the logo.
It's enough to spark that in your brain.
Yep.
All right. And then finally here on this day in history, this day in 2002, American Idol, created by Simon Fuller with judges Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul, and Randy Jackson, premieres on Fox. Back when it was this huge sensation, everybody watched. Now it's just... I
don't know who watches it now. Yeah, back when it came out, I swear to God, when Kelly Clarkson was on there, I thought it was our friend Kelly Gaffney, the one that we went to Vegas with, because they looked alike at the time. And I told Cassie, I said, I know her. Her name's Kelly. And she goes, you don't know her? I go, I do. Like Chris and I, we went to her dorm room, smoked weed with her in her dorm. Turns out two different Kellys, but they looked very similar. So
exactly.
I thought I knew Kelly Clarkson for a minute.
Well, before we head out to the day, let's run down some of today's holidays. We talk about the things that we like to celebrate. And we'll get through these pretty quickly. It is Corn on the Cob Day. It is Robinson Cousteau Day.
Don't know.
Is King Kamehameha Day. Weird name day, apparently. National German Chocolate Cake Day. National Life Beautiful Day. And finally, National Marriage Day. Folks,
marriage?
That does it for this Friday. Again, we will be out on Monday with the best of, but we will see you all on Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Peace.